Modulate. So applying your beautiful fans onto your client's natural lashes. So far, you can isolate, but you could already do that from your classic course. You can pick up beautiful fans and you've got your glue technique nailed down. And the next step now is being able to apply your fans to your client's natural lashes. So this bit has its own technique. So what I reckon that you should do first, and I sometimes do this as well. So sometimes if I'm just practicing fans, I will stick the fans onto a makeup sponge. You've probably seen it if you've looked at YouTube videos or Instagram videos. You've probably seen people do that. So you can stick them onto a makeup sponge is perfect. But if you've got no makeup sponges, you can buy them in bulk on Amazon and eBay and stuff like that. But if you've got none, I sometimes stick an under eye pad onto a notebook or a little sheet of paper or something and stick my fans onto an under eye pad or a bit of micro pore tape. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. All you do is you want to practice your fans and you want to stick them onto something. It doesn't have to be a makeup sponge. So anyway, I'll crack on with the material anyway, the content. So applying your fans, this is going to be all covered in the tutorial, but there's a bit of theory that you need to be aware of first. So it's a bit different from classic lashes. So first off, you need it to be applied in the correct angle. So it needs to be facing the right way. It can't be facing downwards. It's got to be facing upwards. It's got to be facing the right way. So your correct angle is really, really important. It's got to be a tiny, tiny gap away from the skin, the lash line. So you've got to leave, I believe in the manual that you've received, it says 1mm, but that's too far. It's got to be 0.05 millimeters away from the lash line. So basically that's a minuscule gap. You shouldn't be able to see a gap that looks like regrowth, but it shouldn't be touching. So that's a fine art. So it needs to be a tiny, tiny gap away from the lash line. You need to hold the fan onto the natural lash while it starts to cure before you let go of the fan. So you're literally holding the fan open with your tweezers until it started to cure. Do not let go of that fan. Hold it open until it started to cure. Normally, that's roughly 5 seconds. It does depend on how long your adhesive is taking to cure. So if you count to 5 when you're holding your fan onto your natural lash before you let go. Same with classics. The next step, keep your natural lash isolated for a couple of seconds after you've let go of the fan and be really gentle. So very often in training I do see people go to the effort to create gorgeous fans, and they'll do a perfect glue technique, they'll stick it on to the natural lash, and then when they come away they'll knock the fan and the fan will either close up or pop off. So this bit's really important. Be gentle, keep it isolated for a couple of seconds, and move away gently from the fan that you've applied. The next lash that you apply needs to be away from the one that you've just done. So don't apply fans directly next to each other. You don't have to do them one after the other next to each other. Give the adhesive a chance to dry and move around sporadically. Just move from eye to eye. And if you don't want to move from eye to eye, you can move around on the same eye. That's fine. With Russian volume lashes, it's the same as classic. All natural lashes are to be worked on. However, this is where your hybrids come in. So you can, when it's getting quite crowded, when you've got not much room to work on and your fans are getting in the way, this is where, at this point, where you would stick some classic lashes in there, and then that's when it would be deemed hybrid. So when it's getting quite crowded, you can put your classic lashes in there. You can get a really nice spiky look as well if you're using slightly longer lashes compared to the Russian volume lashes, and that look is quite on trend at the moment, but you can be as creative as you want. I wouldn't suggest pushing yourself to be super creative at first. Just nail down creating really gorgeous fans and applying them properly before you go for like Kim Kardashian looks. So that's what we mean by hybrid anyway. We're putting classic lashes in amongst volume fans. When you're applying your fans as well, get into a position where you can see exactly where the lash is being applied. So get really close, get your head right in close so you can see exactly where you're putting the fan. So in training, very often I do see people applying the lash and they seem to be miles away from it. The head is miles away. So that's one of a really common feedback point that I make in classroom settings is get your head in, get really close so you can see exactly where you're applying the lash to, and that it's in the right place and it's got the correct gap at the root. Don't comb your lash with the mascara wand straight away. So you need to leave it, same as what we were saying before. Don't apply lashes next to each other. Don't comb them straight away. So leave it for a few minutes before you comb the lashes with your mascara wand. And I think the next step is just to watch the tutorial and then get stuck in and get practicing. But like I said a few minutes ago, when you make your fans, firstly apply them to a makeup sponge or an under eye pad or a bit of micro pore tape before you move on to applying them onto the mannequin or a client, just so that you can get used to making your fans and getting into the rhythm of making good fans and your glue technique, and so that you've got your fans perfect before you're applying them. So I will see you in the next module.